Ah, Payday. By now you've noticed, there's a lot of DLC to offer for this game, and it will set you back a little bit if you want to get all of it. But to be fair, it's worth the money. But that doesn't mean they can't slip up on their quality sometimes. And well, it's bound to happen with every company anyway. And if I'm going to be completely honest, if you couldn't tell by now, I think Dragan is probably the most disappointing DLC I've actually seen Overkill make. Which, to be honest, is a real shame because I was actually looking forward to this DLC. But keep in mind, this is my views on it. You might have different views. You might actually like the DLC, but to me, it wasn't that good. And basically, in today's video, that's what I'm going to explain why I didn't like it. And to begin with, let's break down the DLC into sections. So let's take away the bomb DLC, which just leaves us with the Dragan character pack and his little goodies for a price of £3.99p. And this pack includes the following. You've got Dragan himself, of course, because, well, that's the pack. A new mask for Dragan, the Lion's Roar rifle, the cleaver knife, and finally, the Infiltrator perk deck. Right, to make this easier, I'm going to get the short stuff out of the way first, and the first thing is, well, the mask. I like the idea of the Croatian checker being on top to kind of tell you where he's from, but besides that, this mask is just, well, a mask. I'm not gonna like it because it just doesn't look nice. And well, I don't really mind because, well, it's a mask. I would just use another one anyway. Next up is the cleaver knife. But wait, we already have a cleaver knife from the Hotline Miami heist. So well, design wise it doesn't really add anything, but the stats however, well, the concealment is the same. Damage and knockdown are a little bit weaker, so that's a thumbs down for me because that's what I focus on. However, for benefits, it has a smaller charge time by a second, so instead of being 3 it's 2, and the range is a little bit further. But if you're using a melee weapon, wouldn't you be close up to them anyway? So that doesn't really matter, so I'll just use the other cleaver knife. Now for the Lion's Roar rifle. And if you haven't noticed, this rifle is very similar to the rifle from the Clover DLC, and the stats are pretty similar, so fuck it, I'm going to compare them. Firstly, it has less ammo, which is a problem for me, but it fires a little bit faster, which is better. But at the end of the day, if a gun fires, it's fine by me. Next is the accuracy, and it's actually better than the Clover rifle, because I can't be asked to pronounce the name. But the stability, however, is quite poor. And I know you can argue, oh, you can just put mods on it to make it better, but then you could put the same mods on the other rifle and it would increase that as well. So it doesn't really work. I would rather just choose the other rifle, but for the people out there who like stealth and those dodge build lovers, it has a bit better concealment, so I guess that's a positive there. Now we come to the Infiltrator perk deck, and well, this is actually quite an interesting perk deck because it mostly focuses on CQC and getting benefits from that. Being increased damage from being surrounded by enemies, each hit can stack up to increase your damage by a couple of stacks, and you can actually take health from an enemy every 15 seconds. And while this perk deck does sound like a lot of fun, it's not really that good in game because you have to sacrifice a useful perk deck like muscle or armor or dodge depending on your build, so it can't really fit in anywhere. I couldn't find a skill build myself which would work with it. I mean, there possibly is one out there, and if you can find it, please let me know and I'll be happy to try it. But until then, this sounds like a good idea, but it just doesn't work. And finally, to wrap this all up, we come to Dragan. And a lot of people have been hating me for this, because I really do not like Dragan. And well, it's not him himself, because I really did look forward to him, but if we look at him from this point of view, you'll see why. First of all, let's compare him to how he looks in real life. Now look at the trailer, and now look at Dragan. Does he look similar? Meh, you tell me. By now, you must have also noticed that some of his voice lines are missing. Now, I know the other actors are going to have to take time to actually get their lines done, and I can understand that. But with Dragan, he's actually missing lines himself. Here's an example. Now, you could bring up the fact this had the same problem when Hoxton was released, and then if you look at it, he was free. This is a paid for DLC, and basically Overkill has made us buy something which wasn't finished. That's my main bite against this DLC, the fact that it's an unfinished product and they've kind of released it. I honestly would have preferred to wait for Dragan in another heist, but it was up to Overkill at the end of the day, and I'm not going to hate them forever for it, because they're still producing great quality. Like, the hype train looks absolutely amazing, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do more on that. But just a side note as well, Overkill, can you stop with the characters now? I mean, like, we've got Bonnie coming up now, and there was the rumour of the character from Hotline Miami. That one sounds good, but I kind of feel like it's kind of now stretching a bit too much. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm one person, and this is my views. So let me know in the least dickish way possible this time how you feel about Dragan yourself. You may like him, and I can respect you for that. It just didn't get me this time, and I'm pretty sure Overkill are going to do much better work next time, because out of the two, the bomb heist was more important, and holy crap was that amazing. Finally, thank you for watching, guys. I'm your host, Sir Crackerball, and it's time I get cracking on with another project.